are back once again with Matchday 2, Part 1 in the 2019 Copa America predictions. Boys and girls, what's going on with my t-shirt? Oh, it looks, I thought it was a little bit green, but no. Anyway, boys and girls, let's waste no more time. And in fact, hang on a minute, you got to stand by with me 1 second because I'm all over the place. Ready? Have I got the right one loaded up? I have indeed, so let's get going. That's right, boys and girls, we are back for Matchday 2, Part 2. So if you are watching right here on YouTube or on Twitch, depending on wherever you are, smash the old follow button, smash the subscribe, smash the thumbs up, whatever you can do to give this bad boy a big old boost as we kick it on further. And yes, we are firstly taking a sneaky peek look at Matchday 2, Part 1 in the 2019 Copa America. And we've had a couple of surprises already in the tournament, and we're going to take a look at least one of them today. So let's waste no more time and get cracking and have a look at what we got. So bear with me while I set this sucker up, because I'm a little bit all over the place here. There we are. Yes, so we are back once again, obviously taking a look at Group B, and those nations once again include Argentina, Colombia, Paraguay, and one of the guest nations, Qatar. Now, if you've seen the first one, I'm not going to really delve into this background information here. This is just I'm just updating you with the odds, because Argentina did start the Copa America as 3-1 second favourites behind Brazil. They have now drifted to 6-1. That means they are losing pace, because we'll talk about why in just a second. But alongside them, it is Colombia. They did actually start the Copa America tournament as 8-1 favourites. Oh, not favourites. 8-1 on or 8-1, sorry, to win the whole stinking lot. They've now, their odds have shortened. So if you think Argentina's odds have lengthened and not Colombia's shortened, you know where we're going, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So 5-1 now, Colombia to win it. They were 8-1, and also joining them in the group, a couple of little make weights. Paraguay, they did start the tournament 30-1 to be the champions of the Copa America. They've now drifted to 66-1. And wrapping it up, it is Qatar, who did start at 100-1. They've now shortened their odds to 80-1, so they're more likely to kind of, they're not as underestimated as they once originally were, and I kind of knew that, and maybe Purple Hazer kind of knew that, but anyway, let's take a look at those. So here we are. These are the two games that have already taken place. Argentina against Colombia, and that ended up as a big fat 2-0 loss for Argentina and a big victory for Colombia. You can't, let's have a look actually at my prediction. I actually saw a big fat 2-2 draw. So I did think Argentina would struggle in this one. I didn't think they would lose. I thought they would kind of have a little nightmare, and then maybe they'll pick up victories against Paraguay and Qatar. So yeah, joining us it is guest speaker once again, Purple Hazer. And I actually took a note here. I believe you had a 2-1 victory for Argentina. So yeah, it was a different. I saw this one as a struggle for Argentina, but I didn't see them stumbling as big as a defeat as they did here. So yeah, that's so I'm not as shocked as other people may be with this one. Colombia are they're a good unit. Argentina are a good one-man band, and if that one-man band ain't singing, then they're struggling, and they struggled in the opening game. Also, this past couple of days, weekend, Paraguay took on Qatar, and that ended up as a 2-2 scoreline. My main man, Nathan's put down a big fat 3-1 victory for Qatar. I also put down a big fat 2-1 victory for Qatar in this one. And again, not too far off the money. I know there's two big red squares there, but when you look at it, Argentina probably would have been the favourite, and a lot of people would have backed them. I didn't back them to win it. Same goes for this one. I didn't back Paraguay to win this, but they didn't lose it anyway. So I did back Qatar, which they did themselves an amazing bit of justice. They now are above them. Well, in fact, we'll have a look at it right now. They are above Argentina in the Copa America, and I think they're going to be stubborn. They score goals. They scored goals in the Asian Cup. They dug their heels in, and they got back into it. So they should not be underestimated. Now the game against Colombia, well, we'll talk about that in just a second. But yeah, I think Qatar. I think if Argentina don't up their game, they could be in for a bit of a slog, because that Qatar Argentina game could end up being very, very decisive for this tournament. It could be either Qatar, Argentina need to win that to go through, and right now I wouldn't fancy Argentina's chances. They need to up their game, and starting with a game against Paraguay, and we'll have a look at that right now actually. So let's go into it. So, get your predictions at the standby. So, if you are watching right here on the Twitch stream, which we are live, you can stick your old comments in right here for this game here, the Colombia-Qatar. We'll tell you about the odds, tell you what the bookmakers think, and we'll tell you what the record is between the two sides. Now, if you are watching at home, you can still participate in this, but you just have to stick your own predictions in the comment section on the re-upload over on YouTube. So, yeah. So, let's get cracking and take a look at this one. Colombia up against Qatar. Now, Colombia starting with a big fat victory against Argentina. Look red hot right now. Now, the two sides have never played each other, ever in the history of football, unless I'm mistaken. So this is new territory for Colombia, new territory for Qatar, but they've started okay, Qatar. Now the bookmakers actually see Colombia as 2-5 favourites for this one. Qatar 7-1. The draw is 7-2. That's the odds on those bad boys. Got Nathan here from out in New Zealand. He's going with a big fat 4-2 victory for Colombia. Yes, that's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. Qatar do score goals. For me, though, it's a similar margin. I've gone with a big fat 3-1 victory for Colombia here. I do see Qatar getting a goal. It might be a little too late, but I think Colombia will take control of this game, and Qatar will be left scrambling once again to try and make something of it. But ultimately, a victory for Colombia, and that will put them on 6 points in the table, and I believe that should be good enough to make the knockout stages. Qatar will have to play the waiting game. I think they did themselves a good chance to make the knockouts with that draw against Paraguay. If they'd won it, obviously there would have been an amazing opportunity to get through. But if they were to now basically win one more game, or win a game out of the Colombia game or the Argentina game, then they should progress. But right now they're doing all right. I think realistically, if they lost the Paraguay game, then we would have known that they would have been out. Same deal with Paraguay. So they've done themselves a bit of justice by getting a result from there. Okay, also joining them on the same match day. In fact, I don't know when these games are taking place. That's a good bit of information to have. I'll let you know when these games are taking place. It was just up on the screen. I just don't have it in front of me right now. So the Colombia-Qatar game will take place on Wednesday, the 19th of June. Same day for Argentina. Again, the kickoff times depend wherever you are in the world. So let's kick it on further to the next one. It is Argentina against Paraguay. Now let's have a look at the record. They've played an impressive 106 times between them in all over the years. Now that is an interesting statistic right there. It just goes to show, because I saw this in one of the other ones the other day, the other groups, two South American countries that would have been playing each other for years since in the Copa America, in the World Cup qualifying. Now they'd only played like about 40 times or 36, 106 times. That's what I'm talking about. Argentina winning 58 of them. They've lost 16, and there's been 32 draws between them. Now the bookmakers have Argentina still as favourites to win this one, 9-4. So basically, you're gonna have to. In order to win a buck, you're going to have to pay pretty much 2-1 sort of thing. Paraguay 6-1 to win it. The draw is 10-3. Out in, it's an impressive style. They've played 106 times. So out in New Zealand, Purple Haze is going for a big fat 2-1 victory. For Argentina. So I'm just getting that in there on record. So we can go back and we can say, you know what, you were wrong or you were right. But for me, I am going with a 2-0 victory for Argentina. Yes, they will bounce back. Purple Haze has thrown out a question. I think some of the nations in South Africa, they might not have joined the Confederation way back when it was originally formed. As I think way back when, Bolivia might not have been there. I think they might have been considered more of a Central American country or something like that. So they may not have been involved in those earlier World Cup. Back in the 1930s, 1950s or whatever, they might not have been in that Confederate back then. So they wouldn't have played each other as much. I don't know. That's just me thinking about it, because I know like some like take Australia, for example. They're now playing a lot of Asian teams more often because they've moved confederations from the Oceanic one, Australasia or whatever it is, to the Asian one. And they're playing Japan and Iraq and Iran a lot more times than they did beforehand. So I think that's what it is. So there. But anyway, so obviously there is still time to participate in these predictions. Again, I'm trying to get these videos nice and early, so there is time for you guys to watch it. So hopefully this video will be on the YouTube later today, which is Monday, and then you'll have all the rest of today tomorrow, and then even a little bit of Wednesday to watch this. But anyway, just want to bring you up to speed with what else is going on. Obviously, if you've seen this bit already, this little promo that I'm throwing out here, just ignore me, put your fingers in your ears. But if you've not, I'll let you know what's going on the channel here, especially on the platform, because we're talking multiple facets here. Okay, we are going to be going predicting games in the Premier League and the Championship live on YouTube in the summer. I think they're going to start around about September. I know the season starts in August, but I'm having a little bit of a vacation in the start of August, so it kind of makes it a little bit of a stuttered start. I'll still have those predictions for all the divisions and all the leagues and all that, but Premier League and Championship will be live in September onwards, but the opening first few games will not be live. And if you want to know about where that is, that's the link to it right up there. And in the middle there is the Patreon, boys and girls. If you want to get access to 6 additional prediction leagues, they're in there. So again, just haven't updated the Patreon page to reflect this yet, but I'm going to do it in the next week or so. So once you go with the Patreon page, you'll see what tier gets you what. For example, I think tier 1 will get you the League 1, League 2 predictions. The tier 2 will get you those 2, plus Ladbrokes, Scottish Premier League, and the top division out in France. And then if you go all out and go for the top dog, you get all 6 of those, and that's including the Dutch and the Portuguese leagues. And then right here, and again, if you want a link to that sucker, it is right there. And right here over the summer, we've been doing it all week, last week, into this week, into the next week. It does get a bit madness here, folks, because right here, I'm just getting ready for my second live stream straight after this one. But all summer, we're going to be taking a look at the Gold Cup, the Copa America, and the African Cup of Nations. I think my first African Cup of Nations one is tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So stand by for that sucker. But anyway, so again, if you want a link, if you are watching YouTube, you want to, where's all this amazing content coming from? It's coming right here on Twitch, boys and girls. So check that sucker out. Yes, and that, my friends, is pretty much all I've got for you. Just throwing this out there one more time. And I'm going to jump back into the old main screen for you, back into the desk. Here we go. So yes, that pretty much wraps all I've got for you, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. But if you do, smash the subscribe or follow, because I'm trying to get the old Twitcher sphere up to 50 followers. We're over on to 43 now, which is pretty good, because I need to get to that echelon by August/September for the live Blackburn Rovers watch-alongs, where I'll be watching the games. You can watch along with me, sort of thing, and I give you my own point about the mighty blue and white. But anyway, so that's, my friends, is where I'm at. So over the next few days, there's going to be loads more content coming. Obviously, I'm just about to do my Gold Cup Matchday 2 Part 1 in just a second. So that's going to be right here, right now. So get ready for those bad boys. But again, stick your own predictions in the old comment section below. Who do you think is going to go out and win the Copa America? Stick them in the old comment section. Who's going to come out on top on this group? Group B. And then tomorrow, I think we're going to take a look at Group C. But anyway, until then, thumbs up, subscribe. Ciao for now. If you're looking for some more great Copa America content, why don't you join me for one of my live sessions over on Twitch? Details to the channel down in the old description below.